Cocktail parties are so tricky, aren't they? There you are with your cocktail in one hand, your plate that you've put little bits and bites from the buffet table on in the other hand, and you've got a napkin underneath your arm, and you're walking around looking for some place to put this all down so you can eat. It's just crazy. It's just nonsense. Well, I've got the solution to all of that. Empanadas. They are easy to eat, and even better, they're easy to make. I'm going to share with y'all my empanada recipe today for chicken empanadas with roasted red bell pepper, and it takes just 2 shakes to throw this together, and your guest will love it. Okay, what I've done here is I've put some onions and garlic in the pan with a little bit of olive oil, cooked them for about 5 minutes until the onions have become translucent, and then added rotisserie chicken. I just bought some rotisserie chicken this morning and shredded it a little bit. You guys can also do the same thing or use some leftover chicken, whatever you want. Just get that chicken in there, and we're going to stir that around a bit. And to that, I'm just going to add. This is so simple. I can't even stand it. These are roasted red bell peppers, and actually these are roasted red bell peppers that I got in a jar and just chopped up. See, I told you, not hard at all. So look how pretty that is. I guess I could have put a few less, but it actually gives it a really nice pinkish color. Now to that, just some cumin and some cayenne pepper, and where is my sea salt? Hold on, sea salt coming up. Let me put a little sea salt in there too. And that's really all we do. I'm just going to stir that around a little bit and let those flavors come together. The chicken's already cooked, so it's not going to take that long. We just want it nice and mixed up so we can then go stuff the empanadas. Okay, well, I just pulled the dough out of the fridge, and I actually made this dough hours ago. It takes about 5 minutes to come to temperature so you can start to roll it out. It's much easier to work with than a pie crust or something like that. So you dough phobes out there, don't be afraid of making this dough. It really is very nice to work with, very pliable, and will not give you much trouble, I promise. What I did here was I put the dough between 2 pieces of parchment paper so I could roll it out, and you can literally just roll the dough out between the 2 pieces of parchment paper. You don't even need to pull it out, and it's just that way you don't need to get flour on the rolling pin, and you don't get your dough too floury that way. So anyway, rolled it out. You can see it's about, gosh, I don't know, what is that, about 1/8 of an inch? Something like that. It's quite thin. But here we are. I'm going to show you just how this goes. These are 2 little cutters that I bought. I think they're cute. One's a square that you can make triangular empanadas with, and the other one is the basic circle. You can use anything you've got on hand. A biscuit cutter for little baby ones. I've used glasses to make little bite-sized empanadas, so it's really just up to you. So you take that cutter, and I see that I don't have a spatula, but I do now. So you take the cutter, you make your little shape, okay, and I'm going to pull that one out and put that over there to show y'all. You see how easy it just lifts like that? There's egg in there, and that helps a ton. So there's one. I'm going to show you how we stuff it. And this is cooled off a little bit. I'm going to bring this over here. And that's, you know, it's a little bit more than a bite size. That's a couple of bites. There's no rules really to putting these things together. You just, I try to put it kind of towards one side so I can then fold it over. So I'm going to put that right there. I may have overestimated the amount that I need, so we'll do like that. Fold that over, you see, and you kind of give it a pinch, as you would a fried pie if you've made fried pies before. If you've not, no big deal. And then with your fork, just go ahead and press it down so you can seal those edges just like that. So it's one thing, and as you do that, you get a little bit of that air out. So there you go. There's one. And again, I put the parchment paper there on the baking sheet, and this is just an egg white and a little bit of water. And we're gonna brush that on there so when they cook, they'll be super shiny. Okay, so I'm gonna pop these in the oven and then we're gonna pull them out and see what they look like. Okay, so I just pulled the empanadas out of the oven. They took about 15 minutes at 350, and look at that, aren't they pretty? I've actually not cooked them all the way. You could probably let them go about, I don't know, 3-4 more minutes. Another thing you can do with these, you can pre-cook them, and then when your guests arrive, just pop them back in the oven and let them finish, because really all you're doing is browning the crust, the pastry rather. So see, you see what I'm talking about? No more of that nonsense of the plate and the napkins and whatever. You can just hold this in one hand and hold your beer in the other.